Hey, this is Adam Torres, and I'm here to tell you that it has never been easier to start your very own podcast. At Mission Matters, our goal is to amplify stories that matter. That means we want to help you start your podcast because your story matters. We can do this in 3 different ways. 1, join our podcast school and take a free or paid course. 2, visit our resources page where we've already figured out what you need, such as where to host your podcast. Or 3, heck, we can even do everything for you through our podcast agency, including editing for cheaper than you can do in-house. Oh, and no contract, services month to month. Get started by heading over to missionmatters.com and click on Start a Podcast. All right, now let's get into the show. Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Marketing Podcast, your source for all things marketing. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Ryan Cote on the line, and he's Director of Digital Services and a partner over at Valentine. Ryan, welcome to the show.
Hey, Adam. Happy to be here.
Oh, man. So first off, I'm excited to get into today's topic. So we're going to talk about digital marketing for small businesses, which is, I know, one of your expertise. But then also I see here that, third generation family-owned direct mail and digital marketing agencies. So just to jump right in, tell us a little bit more about Valentine. I feel like I'm talking to media and marketing royalty here.
Appreciate that. I'm not sure about that, but I appreciate that. Well, we go back 55 years.
It's in your blood. It's in your blood. I don't want to hear it. You're too kind. It's in your blood. Go ahead.
I guess it is. Yeah, my great uncle started the company in the mid-'60s. So we're going on like 55 years or so. We started out doing direct mail. We still do a ton of it. And about 5 years ago, we layered in digital marketing. So now we have a full team of digital specialists from SEO to paid search, content, social, et cetera. And that's what we do.
Man, that's awesome. And so at the end of this, I'm going to give you an opportunity, of course, to leave your website or, follow-up information for any of the lot of business owners, entrepreneurs, executives listening, so anybody that wants to follow up. But just so that the right types of individuals and or organizations follow up, what's typically a good, market fit to work with Valentine in terms of companies?
Yeah, that's actually a relevant question for right now as we go through COVID-19. We're taking the time to reevaluate who we service best and just the markets we want to go after, especially given the situation with the pandemic and the types of clients that we work with on the digital side. I'm speaking for our digital services. We mainly work with contractors, like home improvement companies, bathroom, kitchen, windows types of companies, and then manufacturing and industrial companies, and that's a pretty wide variety, but those are the types of companies that we work with a lot. We've got some in the professional service space and auto dealerships as well, but good concentration of our clients, the ones that we work the best with, are the contractors and then the manufacturing/industrial companies.
That's awesome. So let's switch it up a bit, Ryan. I want to get further into today's topic. So digital marketing for small businesses. As I mentioned, a lot of entrepreneurs listening. What should they be thinking about right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So, we're a small business ourselves, and so, we do this for our own marketing, and I would say 95% of our clients are small businesses too. So this is what we live and breathe every day. So I'm gonna take this question from a tips and advice standpoint. So it's like what should your audience be thinking about? What should they be focusing on? So right now, the things that we're really focused on are, first thing, search engine optimization, but to take that a little deeper, Google My Business. We look at Google My Business, which fuels Google Maps. We look at Google My Business as almost like your second website. So the website's very, very important. You want to optimize it, send traffic to it, put content up on it. But your Google My Business listing is super important. And it's super important if you're a local business for obvious reasons with Google Maps, but it's even important if you're not a local business, because right now, at least as we're recording this, when someone Googles your name, which most people will do if they're thinking about doing business with you, the right sidebar of Google, that's Google My Business. Google takes that information from your listing and puts it in the right sidebar. So you want to have a listing that's fully filled out, pictures, your name, address, phone number, website, reviews, especially, because when someone's Googling you, you want to really paint a really good first impression. So fully fill out that listing, take from start to finish, everything, fill it out. And if your local business, of course, is important because Google My Business fuels Google Maps. And so you want to have a lot of reviews. You want to have a fully filled out listing. You want to submit your business to a lot of local directories. That's going to help you rank better in Google Maps. So that's the first thing I would say is Google My Business. It's like your second website. Whether you're a local business or you're not, you want to take it seriously and fully utilize everything that Google gives you. Another thing I'll mention
so
is,
when you say,
I'm sorry,
one quick follow-up on that one. So, and when
Sure.
you say whether you're a local business or not, because I just want to make sure that the audience gets this. So even if they're like, let's say an online business or something else, like us, we're a media company, we're podcast, book publishing, podcast agency services for marketing. I mean, so we should be doing and thinking about our Google listing, even though we're not really a brick and mortar. Am I understanding that correct?
Yeah, that's our approach and our strategy. I mean, Google My Business is really important to your local business, but we push it on. Technically, we work with clients nationwide, but we know that if someone's thinking about working with Valentine, they're going to Google us, and we want to control that first impression. We want they're going to see the right sidebar, which is Google My Business. We want them to see all our reviews, our photos, everything. It
makes sense when you say it. Like I'm sitting here like, oh, of course, duh. It's a free tool in terms of like Google doesn't charge you for having a listing.
Not yet. Though I read that they're starting to experiment with like an upgraded version of your listing for
which will probably be worth it, and I'm sure they'll do it, and it's okay. Like it's probably going to be a small amount, hopefully, and it'll probably be worth it. But I hearsay, right?
yeah, we'll see. So that's the first thing. Another thing I'll mention, Adam, is that content creation. That's something we're really focused on. We're seeing a resurgence of blogs. Google's ranking a lot more blogs now, which I think makes sense with like voice search, and also because Google's job is to answer questions, and blogs typically answer questions, and so of course you have to do it right. High quality blogging, lengthy content, visuals, a lot of white space. Just it needs to be well done. But we're seeing a lot of blogs ranking better in Google search results. It's also, I can go on and on about blogging, but it helps you rank for more keywords. It's additional ways that people can find you. It's content that you can repurpose. What we'll typically do is we'll create content, we'll SEO optimize it because we want those blogs ranking for our clients and for ourselves. And then we'll put it on Facebook, we'll put it on LinkedIn. We view the social platforms and the advertising part, we view them as sort of like platforms for us to syndicate our content. We know that we could put our blog on LinkedIn and Facebook, for example, and spend some advertising money and force that content in the feeds of the right people and provide that valuable content to them so that they see it, hopefully, and they click on it and read it. So we look at, the combination of content and social as a way to get in front of more people with helpful information and kind of nurture the leads and nurture the potential opportunities.
What do you think that, and again, this is a broad question, and also it's not meant to be a loaded question. So I know it's going to vary from industry and also from size of business and resources and how long they've been doing it. But what do you kind of like, or what do you see that a lot of small business owners that are getting this content creation and distribution right are doing? Can you talk about that a little bit more?
I think it's you can tell a blog post that's been whipped up really quickly with not a lot of thought behind it, and a blog post that they've spent, hours on. An extreme example is Backlinko. It's a SEO blog. Brian Dean's the owner. He's like one of the SEO gurus out there that writes about it. He definitely knows his stuff. And you can tell he writes like one blog a month, and he's spending probably 20 hours, 30 hours on each blog.
Easy,
and that's,
easy.
Easy. And that's something anyone can do. It takes a lot of time. Obviously, 30 hours is serious, but it's something that, it's something we all can do. But I would say it comes down to the quality of the content, the effort that's put into it. Does the blog have internal, external links? Does the blog have visuals, whether it's images or even video? Does the blog, is there a clear keyword focus behind it? Like, not that it's overly SEO'd, but is it clear that it's been written with a keyword in mind that their audience would use? So I would say, to answer like one word, to be the plan. Was there a plan behind the blogging?
Yeah, I totally agree with you, by the way. And it's so interesting to see like the companies that get that formula right of content creation, and then you add the SEO, you add everything else. When the companies that get that right they really thrive and they build audience, and they end up, and to me, and how I like to say it is that they end up building assets. Like they end up building a real email list of people that open their emails. They end up getting real inbound traffic and real inbound leads that actually convert. And not saying sales process isn't important, because it is, but they get a lot more of those just kind of like teed up easy sales for their team, because the content they've been putting out has been warming up their audience for so long and so well that when people are calling, they're just kind of buying. And as long as it's a good fit, and prices, obviously all those things are beyond this discussion, but as long as there's a correct process that matches the quality of content. But content's king, and I tell people that all the time, so I love you bring that up.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that you create. It's almost like planting seeds. You're creating blogs, and eventually they're going to rank in Google. You can use them in your email list. You can put them on social. But like I said, it goes back to planning. You have a plan in terms of how you're going to write the content, what you're going to write about. And then once that piece of content's live, what are you going to do with it? You of course you want to put it on your blog, but you want to put it out and repurpose it as much as possible. And it's a slow churn. It doesn't happen overnight, but you'll see that once you start blogging, whether it's weekly or 2 to 4 times a month, after 6 months, some of those blogs they're going to appear in your analytics as some of your top pages in terms of organic traffic. You just need to give it time for Google to kind of pick up on what you're doing.
So, Ryan, I can talk to you about this stuff all day long, but we're about out of time for this episode. So that being said, if somebody is listening to this and they do want to follow up and learn more about what you're doing over at Ballantine on either the direct mail or the digital marketing agency side, what's the best way for them to follow up and to connect?
Yeah, I would say you can go to our site, which is ballantine.com. Connect with me on LinkedIn, Ryan Cote, Cote. But then I also created a special page for your audience. On there, they can request a free video analysis of me walking through their website, looking at their SEO, looking at their overall marketing, social media, etc. If they go to ballantine.com/mission matters, there'll be the opportunity to request that in addition to my LinkedIn link.
Fantastic. And let's leave that one more time, because I feel like they were getting their pen, their pencil, whatever they write with, their tablet. I feel like they weren't ready. They're like, wait a minute, there's a freebie here. Let's leave that one more time slower, please.
Okay, sure. It's ballantine.com/mission matters.
Fantastic. Well, Ryan, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your background. Third generation, come on, that's awesome, man. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store, and if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Marketing, definitely give us a subscribe there, but leave us some comments in the video. Love to know what kind of projects and things that you're working on. And Ryan, thanks again for coming on the show.
Thanks, Adam. Thanks, everyone, for listening.